Alright, everybody, here we are. The finale, hopefully, of Kentucky Route Zero. Act 5. Here we go. I see water. That must have been a very bad storm. Was that a dead horse or something? That's everything, right? How did this all fit in that truck? It's bigger on the inside. I think it rained. Rained a lot, I mean. May I use your phone, Miss Shannon? Who are you calling? I was gonna call Julian. Who's Julian? My brother. So where is 5 Dogwood Drive? Right, no idea. Maybe we should split up. Okay, holler if you find anything. Hey. I'm playing as a cat. What? Waffles for any weather. What is this? What's going on? Okay, let's go in here, I guess. Jorge has scanned the shelf. He quickly found the book he was looking for. There were only a few dozen left. More shelves than books now. The result of an experiment called the New Selection. Privately, he called it the Purge. But only privately, in small groups of reliable complainers. The unspoken rule was to hold back criticism as long as possible. Experiments needed time to unfold naturally, without the interference of doubt. Jorge would have preferred to complain more freely. Let's look at interference. Frazier proposed and executed experiments just like any other community member, but his experiments had a scorched earth quality. They were all destructive. He moved from one area of community life to the next in search of excess to cut back. Lately, he turned his scythe to the library. The New Selection meant decimating their store of books according to Frazier's own inscrutable criteria. Now we're guaranteed something vital every time we take a book from the shelves. No more time lost to printed chaff. Frazier's colorless voice echoed in Jorge's mind. He felt like spitting. Instead, he tucked the book under his arm and set off for the woods. And we got like a... Is that like a dragonfly or something? It's... Wait, what's that? Greeting meow. Oh, hi, kitty. I want to go in the Waffle House. Can we go in there? No. Can we go talk... What's this? They were beautiful animals. No, I should say. Simply that they were our neighbors. And they're free. I should say that they're free. Only what do I mean by free? Empowered? Hello. Sorry, I'm just thinking something. Writing a sort of a poem. Is it happy or sad? I'd like it to be hopeful, somehow, but it just keeps coming out sad. What's this stuff? Is this a boat? Oh, it's the news station. Wow, not much left of it, huh? Elmo gave Rita a tour of the cameras and wiring. She'd just been through a certification program on public broadcasting at the community college, so no surprises there. Nikki showed her the video databank. James demonstrated the Sandin image processor, and then Ron came barreling in with an urgent expression. Public broadcasting. Rita had entered the public broadcasting program at Fish Trap Lake Community and Technical College with a vague desire to be a newscaster. One of her instructors got her excited about pirate television, and she followed threads through TV and activist communities until she found herself here, somehow, volunteering at WEVP-TVP. Pirate television. It wasn't quite the radical guerrilla television crew she dreamed of joining. This group seemed more interested in sharing the town's home movies than culture jamming and interfering with corporate stations, but she liked that focus on local concerns. Ron's news was clearly bad news. Rita's heart sank a little as they listened. She knew things were unraveling, knew from experience what that looked like. Wouldn't it be nice to arrive at the beginning of something for once? But as she listened to Ron detail the power company's sudden withdrawal from town affairs, she heard other possibilities. She studied their faces and found concern for sure, but also something like relief, hope, an awakening of play. Nikki looked like she might have been daydreaming. These were people, Rita decided, ready to step out of the company's shadow and build something of their own. Ron said the TV station would still be funded by court order. Could that be their anchor? Is that it? I mean, there's not much left of the TV station. I don't know what is going to get funded besides rebuilding the place. Who's that? Is that a Shadow Man? Why is there a Shadow Man walking down the street? I don't... Will it still fly? Oh yes, she just got banged up a little bit in the storm. At first they only observed... There's more shadow people. The truck from a distance. It was an alien carcass, something that made more sense in death than in life. The company dropped it off in the middle of the day, when everyone was at the plant. They let it sit overnight, alone and strange. Nikki thought it was ridiculous, but Ron approved. To Elmo, the truck was simply beautiful. Look at Elmo. He thought it was elegant. He liked the idea of passing it every day, observing it from different angles and distances. Elegant. He liked boxy things, generally, and especially boxy machines. Everyone had to agree this was money and attention that would have been better spent addressing the town's drainage problems. Maybe finally get started on that damned messianic ditch. Still, they had a few things to dispose of. Broken flower pots, empty glass bottles, clothes that didn't fit anymore. They gradually fell into the habit of collecting waste and carrying it to the truck. Once a month, some shadows would come in from the night woods and haul the garbage away on a cart. Are these the shadows? Because they're like shadow people walking around. Anything else cool over here? I mean, it's kind of fun, like running around as a cat, I guess. But the cat can also go into houses, like clip in. That's kind of weird. Okay, what's this? There wasn't really like a scene one, as far as I could tell. Maybe I just forgot it. Paints and chalk in the small bag. Diary in the large bag. Stuffed dog in the small bag. Photograph of Chris in the large bag. Chris! Don't open that door! No, in the small bag. Sandra couldn't decide. Should she keep the photo of her husband, or should Alex keep the photo of his father? Husband. Chris had been gone for 3 months. Everyone was saying he'd deserted the community. Deserted. Before Frasier, people just left. When it had become a referendum on loyalty. She set everything down, closed her eyes, massaged her temples, and wondered, not for the first time, how Frasier had consolidated so much invisible power so quickly. How had he done it? Had he in fact done anything at all to claim this incredible lattice of influence, or had they simply, blindly, given it to him? This headstone has no name on it. Maybe it was his choice. Some stubborn old man not wanting the town to fuss over him even in death. I'm sure this is what Uncle Andreas wants. Well, then we should give it to him. Oh, insightful. The seer reclined high in a tree, carving fine details into a small wooden pipe. She had done the bulk of the carving over hazy mornings with the stoneworker. He smoked constantly. She only smoked when she was happy, or very sad, or bored. From this height she could see the earth movers shaping the mounds under the draftsman's supervision. She could see him inspecting his plan, the drawing he'd made from her game, the map. Okay. Oh, we're in the barn. There's the dead horse that we were looking at earlier. Can we get... I doubt we... Oh, we can actually jump in the water. That's kind of weird. They must have been pretty nice pigs if they let you ride them like that. They were perfect gentlemen. Then what happened? Then I found the library of television. There were TVs everywhere. As soon as you walked in the door, every channel was playing at once. Each tiny hair in my ear canal was listening to a different TV. On one of the TVs, I saw the most terrible vision. I won't even describe it to you. It would give you nightmares. Sounds scary, but also kind of cool. Exactly. I'll take you there sometime if you want. I was traveling with some strange companions for a while, too, but not as strange as yours. A white rabbit followed me for a while. The rabbit only stuck around for a few hours. He must have had things to do. By far the most memorable companions were the Martians. They were silly and lazy and I think a little drunk, but I found them charming in their own way in the end. I hung out with an old dog and some musicians. And we both had quite an adventure. We should stick together. I agree completely. So far this is a little different than the rest of the chapters have been, or acts, I should say. Junebug and Johnny strained to hear the noises coming from the well. There's that weird, sleepy singing again. It's kind of reverent. A choir, maybe? You think the truck's okay down there? Sure. I doubt any thief could get it started. And now you will return to Chicago? Eventually. I was just thinking I'd drive it for a while. I've had enough driving. Yeah, all night you said, right? Hey, look what I found. What is that, an animal bone? It's a pipe, I think. Super ancient. It's probably 1,000 years old. The people who made these mounds, they used to carve these. What did they build this huge, dirt spiral? Most of these ancient earthworks are thought to be burial mounds, but this one definitely isn't. To be honest, I don't know what it was for. This shouldn't have happened. We should have been better prepared. All of us. But most of all, that damn company built this place and left it only half built when they pulled out of town. Damn shame. So not too sad. No, I think it should be happy. Right. It's a remembrance. Right. Like a monument. Totally. So they should be represented with dignity and respect, of course. Of course. But not to the point where it makes everyone feel they have to be serious when they're standing under it. Does that make sense? No, yeah, it definitely does. I think I have an idea. Great! I'll just dig in. Thanks, Marianne. Happy to help. Think it'll rain anymore? Nah. I don't see any clouds. Hell, it'll probably rain anyhow. Just our luck. Assertive meow. Oh, really? Confident meow. He thinks it's gonna rain again tomorrow. Nah. I don't know, man. Animals have a sense for the weather. Alert meow. A croak something. Croak reverberates. Wait. Inside the smoker. Okay, gotcha. Wanda snores softly. Okay. I'll have her hung up and running again by this afternoon. I'm sure. Can I fly it? Well, how's your upper body strength? It's good. Really good. This old goer is operated by pulleys. I mean 100% mechanical. Well, except for the throttle. I could do that. I admire your confidence, young man. Yep, just a little bit metal. I'll have her skyworthy again in a matter of hours. Wow. I've been doing this a long time, kiddo. Slow-mo crow, warm too. Greeting meow. Eager chittering. Affirmative meow. An agreeable call. Friendly meow. A short coo. Negative meow. Chittering dismissively. Inquisitive. Confused coo. Doubtful meow. Soft chitters. What is this? There's some random triangle. Six or seven men stood in the sun about a dozen yards from the ditch, and he could hear them laughing. He tried not to hear them. Instead, he listened to the shovel punching through the dirt as he shaped the trench. It was wet dirt, mud really. It made a hungry sound as he shaped the trench walls. Glare from the noon sun made his sinuses tingle. The trench was a foot wide now. By the time he was done, he expected it to be about twice that, and run most of the way from the middle of town up where it could drain off into the creek. The laughter quieted into greedy chuckles, and he could feel the men approaching. Okay, what's this? Well, the mailbox says 5 Dogwood Drive. Is there a doormat? Sometimes a key is under a doormat. What am I saying? Strange to say, but I feel like I've been here before. Anyone else? It just showed up. The house. When? Sometime last night, I think. I've never noticed it before. Nobody lives here? Well, somebody ordered some furniture. It's actually quite spacious. Bigger than it looks. Nice. I could see myself in a place like this. Light in here is pretty great, actually. Yeah, good space to read a book. There's so much room, though. We could set up a whole studio. And at night, we could look at the stars. I could set up a new workshop here. Maybe work on that, the big video synthesizer thing. Fix that up. I'd love to perform in a place like this at sunset. There's so much stuff just spread all over the place from the storm. We'll get all that cleared out in no time. Feels like it's time to move forward. We could put on a play for all the animals. I'd like to see that. We saved what we could. Oh, okay. That's sudden. Hey, cat, I'll race you. From here to that pile of mail, okay? Come stand here. This is the starting line. Ready? And set. Go! Alright. It's no shame to lose. I'm a fast runner. Cool. What's this? Curious Meow. Oh man, it's totally broken. Inquisitive Meow. Waterlogged tapes. They might still play, who knows. But all the VCRs are shot. Sad Meow. I don't even know where to put all this. I hate to call it trash. I wonder if that garbage truck still works. Until it finally just gave way. But you did good work, it's not your fault. They didn't let you finish, that's all. If they let you finish, oh, forget about it. This place would be as dry as a bone. You always did good work. Inquisitive Meow. It's a memorial. Okay, yeah, whatever. Keep going. Rita tore up weeds. Elmo stood next to her with a bucket. She passed him the uprooted weeds, and he stuffed them in the bucket. They worked this way for a few hours. Dark clouds drifted slowly closer, but wouldn't arrive until evening. Rita left to get some tea. Elmo sat in the dirt. He pulled up a blade of grass and held it in the path of a ladybug. When it boarded the grass and Elmo lifted them both into the air, he held the bug close in front of his face and tried to count its spots. Rita came back with a plastic jug of sweet tea. They sat and drank for a while and then got back to work. The garden was coming along as well as they could hope, given months of neglect. When the plant shut down, the company abruptly pulled out of the area and took a large part of the town's population with it. This included the Carver family, who had tended this garden, the largest and most productive in town, for years. Now the garden would be cared for by a new family, and feed what was left of the town and whatever it became next. They didn't know much about gardening, but they were prepared to learn on the job. They knew for sure they would plant tomatoes. Those had grown well from the garden in the past. Rita and Elmo worked until it started to rain. The rain washed their sweat into the dirt. Yeah, I'd be worried about that too. Well, and it isn't just the rodents. The floors are mostly rotted, I think. You'd fall right through. I'm surprised they're still standing after last night. All the buildings? No, most of them have good power, or good bones. Just these are the power company that built it are rotten. Oh, okay. Yeah, the power company moved in here a while back and set it up like their own little town for the workers. And they didn't build them too good, huh? It's garbage. They couldn't be bothered. I lived in that one over there, in fact, when I first came here to work at the power plant. Oh, yeah? I wouldn't set foot in there now, though. Haha. What's that? Greeting Meow. Oh, hi, kitty. Chatty Meow. Yes, it's a beautiful day. I guess the weather was pretty bad last night, though. Confident Meow. You're a chatty one, aren't you? Fanciful Meow. Sure, whatever you say. Haha. Okay. Choppy seas today, Captain. Aye, Captain. Let's reinforce the sails. Hey, we jumped in a tire. Clyde lay on his back on the runway, hands folded behind his head, halfway between dreams and the afternoon sun. He entertained the momentary delusion that he'd survived a plane crash and was vaguely unhappy when the dream faded. The runway smelled like oil, years of leaky light aircraft taking off and landing. All the state said they wanted was to knock down some trees, many trees, and build a road tying this small town to the larger web of streets and highways they had entombed the rest of the county. But Clyde and his inner circle of stunt pilots turned mail carriers knew that a road would be the end of their secluded paradise. I'm just curious, I guess. I knew them pretty well, but I'd like to have known them better. There's one I think is called Jorge. He left us some clues in books a while back. Sometimes Rita finds a book from the old library and we leave it out for him. I think he likes that. I've got to imagine he likes it anyway. So you're playing some music in Nashville later? That's a good place for it, I guess. I have a gig at an art gallery. The idea is to play the theremin for 24 hours uninterrupted. It'll be difficult but rewarding, I think. Yeah, you're making the right move. There's nothing here anymore for the living. So, how did you all get food out here? Anxious scraping noises. That's what I figured. An indignant paw. Haha, why? A detailed sense of chitters. I guess we could, but it sounds like a lot of work. A few chitters trailing off. You're right, I'll think about it. Alert meow. Croak reverberates. Excited meow. A frog slips out into the grass, too quick to see. Nice little setup you've got. I wish I had a space like this to work on the bike. It's a custom job, the weird Vector. No, I can't say that means anything to me. I get bored quick with anything that can't get me closer to heaven. How's the plane looking anyway? I'll have her up and running again this afternoon, no problem. Just a couple bends in the wrong places. Cass never would have let it get this bad, I'll tell you that. Tell me about Cass. Oh, what can I tell you? She loved her nephew and nieces, the brothers who started our little community of pilots. She had doted on Beth, the wild one. Cass was the one who got us to finally pave that landing strip. Had a premonition it'd be useful. And then she made us break all our paving tools as soon as it was done. To tell you the truth, I've long suspected the reason Cass never wanted any roads here was just to keep the horses safe. And now... Is that another cat? A white cat? There you are. I think this other cat was looking for you. Will you be a family now? You seem pretty different, but that's good. You can teach each other. I wonder if I'll ever learn to fly. Jump up here, I guess. She watched him. She stood in her own shadow. A few deer hunters and talkers walked past, but said nothing to the seer. Didn't even look. She studied the path. This was the path the seer had found in her scrying game, a series of private dice rolls and inscrutable diagrams. The community trusted this game. It led them to fish-filled streams, intimate knowledge of the elements and the stars, even here to the C-Note settlement. They had trusted it without understanding it, and now the game had revealed to the seer this vital route which would lead them to safety before the next floods came. At the end of the route, she'd seen a safe, quiet place, caverns of leathery black birds, a lake of eyeless fish, a towering flame. Now the diver walked the mounds, memorizing the route. He was almost ready. Sure, whatever you say, haha. Hurt meow. Alright, well, take it easy. Heavier than they look. Sure, everyone's heavier after they've passed. It's only natural. Spirit has no weight. In fact, it lifts us up a little. Greeting, meow. Oh, it's you again. Friendly meow. Yeah, well, feel free to pitch in. I'm sure this would go on a lot quicker with two of us on it. Argumentative meow. Busy, huh? What, left a sudden sunbeam unslept in? Meow. Suit yourself. I'll be here. Is this supposed to like bookend the game started at Equus Oils with the big horse head, and now we're here? Marianne clears her throat. Inquisitive meow. Well, hello. Marianne nudges Wanda gently, softly singing, Wanda, time to wake up. Curious meow. Nope, dead to the world. Probing meow. Just try again later, I guess. Some of these are really old. Okay. Maybe we should open them. Scolding meow. Haha. He says not to open other people's mail, kid. I know what he said. But if they're not even here to open it themselves, I won't tell a soul. So what is with all these shadow people? Looks like the sun's going down. Is it getting dark? Or is it just getting foggy? I'm kind of in what do I do to advance the plot next mode, just kind of clicking around here, like, is this it? Is this the whole act? Who's this picnic table? Let's go see. Look at this place, the library. Ah, what a mess. I feel like I should give you a tour, but let's skip to the good part. Any questions? Does it have a secret name or just a regular one? I don't know if it was a secret or if they just couldn't decide on a name. I think they just called it the library. My friend Bert says the work of history is to find a pattern in the unasked questions. Caesar beat the Gauls. Was there not even a cook in his army? You'd fit right in here. Sure, it's a mess right now, but there's some residual energy from these fearless experiments that I don't think will ever dissipate. I could stay here. Oh, hi. Hey, aren't you... Did you come on Night Noise once, or maybe I saw you play somewhere? Sorry, I think I got water in my memory banks, but I'm sure we were great friends. We were talking about history. Oh, were you in the band? What do you think, kid? We've got room for a drummer. I should probably get back to Julian. Ron dug a grave. Okay. Hey, this book's in pretty good shape. Before that, it was the company store. Oh, sure, I worked in the mine for a bit. Yeah? Did they sell little paper flowers down there? Paper flowers? That sounds kind of nice. I had to make my own vanilla extract, though. I never stocked that. If you want, and you promise to keep it secret, I'll pass on my waffle recipe before I head out. That's okay, I don't really eat. Not even for fun? Well, if you teach me that waffle recipe... the mystery adds to the flavor. Well, I know I'm not sticking around. You think you'll do anything with this place? Hey, people gotta eat, right? Well, some people. What is this? Underneath the 3A, lay paper flat. Bring bottom left corner up to top right corner. Crease with firm, steady pressure along diagonal fold. Nikki applied only gentle pressure. Looser flowers felt more alive. She rolled her wrists. It was the 6th hour of her assigned company store shift, and she'd made dozens of flowers. Ron had bought a bouquet and cleaned out their stock that afternoon. Repeat steps 4A7 for each petal, taking care not to rip the filaments from step 9. She put Ron's bouquet down in the sales ledger as romantic bouquet, but really he was just buying in bulk at a small discount. Since the company started allowing resident workers to donate paper flowers to Aunt Connie for specific enthusiasm points, exchangeable for sick days, they had become kind of a shadow currency for local trade. A commotion outside caught Nikki's attention. Men yelling, blows landing. She put down her work and stepped out just in time to see the crowd disperse. Okay, wonder what that's about. Or I wonder if we're going to find out. Clyde and Cass sat cross-legged in the shade of a light aircraft, Cass shuffling cards and Clyde absently flipping through a stack of unopened letters. Cass played cards and told fortunes with the same deck. Sometimes she'd switch it up mid-game or mid-divination, until you never knew whether you were winning or losing, or if good luck in the game might mean bad luck in some other part of your life. She'd predicted the decline of the circus, and of course nobody believed her. There were 3 Dervish brothers, 2 were women. What? The oldest had flown a reconnaissance plane at the tail end of the war, then returned home to teach his younger sisters the art of trick flying. None of them were gifted pilots, but they were fearless. Demand for aerial stunts having faded almost completely, and many of their company having died or aged out of the profession, Clyde and Cass found for their remaining pilots a steady flow of contract work delivering mail to remote rural areas, but this place was abandoned. Cass's cards predicted they'd be here for quite a while. And Rita never got as many bands to come up here as she would have liked, I think, but it was always a blast. Sure, how does anyone find this place without any roads coming in? They wander in from the trees, sometimes they're following directions, sometimes they just end up here. Sometimes you only need a few people. Whoa, look at this. Emily pulls a videotape out of the rubble. The label's all muddy. Oh, this is Rita's tape. I should get this to her. Maybe she can clean it up. Emily pulls a piece of slate adorned with a partial circuit diagram out of the rubble. This is James' schematic for the sand and image processor. Damn, this thing was valuable information. Very little I can salvage here. It wouldn't mean anything. It's a kind of package deal. Yeah, I've been there. Time to find a new package, honey. Yeah, it's true. I think it's been true for a while now. This flood just made it unavoidable. Where are you flying to? Flying? Huh. I'm just checking to see if everything's working okay. You could fly her somewhere if we wanted to, though, right? Of course. Here we go. Keep your distance now. Oh, damn, there he goes. Can we go in after him? In the bushes? Yeah. After the raccoon? Yeah. No. But it's probably full of thorns. Yeah, but raccoon. It's not happening. Okay, okay. Oh, don't pout. Tell you what. If that raccoon comes back into town, we'll leave some food out for him. Yes, ma'am. Hey! Hey, don't run in the graveyard. Why not? It's... People are trying to rust. Annoyed me out. Agreed. $6 feet? That's the standard. Standard for people, anyway. Maybe I ought to stick to the traditional depth out of respect. Just what are we bearing here, anyway? Is it them or us, or some mix of both? Wonder what would have been company policy on hiring centaurs. Strong and smart, but probably union. They built so much here, they ought to be here still, cleaning up. I guess I left a vacuum, the power company. Hey, this looks in pretty good shape. The City of Ladies. Interesting. No, I've not read it either. Good question. Let's take a look. Here we go. Minerva, Circe, Sappho, and some ladies from the Bible. Nosy meow. I think they all get together and build a city. Sounds nice. I'll go get us a bus ticket, huh? Alright, man. Let's see what you've got. This one looks like it might still play. Yeah, we had a few of his. Man, this is a barnstormer. Popular? It used to be, but then the jukebox started to wear down. The longer it would run, the slower it would play. And then these weird echoes would start to come in. Like the music was leaking and just pooling up in the bottom somewhere until everything was drowning. After a few hours, no matter what you put in that jukebox, it'd come out strange. Wrong. I don't know. That sounds pretty cool to me, man. I really like this knife. It has an aura. You know what I mean? An aura. Yeah, like it wasn't exactly used to cut apples. It's meant for greater things. Yes, man. Hand me that rag, would you? The one with the embroidered bird on it. This one? Does it have a bird on it? I think so. Don't you know what a bird looks like? Yeah, but it's pretty small. I thought it was some letters. I guess there could be a bird on there. Well, it's a rag, ain't it? As long as it's a rag, I guess it'll work for mopping sweat. Yeah, it's a rag for sure. So stuff keeps getting added over here. I even lived there for a bit. No way. Yeah, too drafty. I moved out one winter and never looked back. It gets cold? Sure, when the sun's down. Nice old church, though. Really nice. Could make a nice workshop. There you go. Is that a loudspeaker? Okay. He rang a bell. Look at all those parrots up there. Okay. Is there anything? Oh, okay. I'm in control again. Game didn't exactly let me know that. Hey y'all, thanks for sticking around for this. I know we've all got places to... Well, if anybody still needs somewhere to go, be sure and speak up, okay? I think Ron's heading through the woods tonight, back to the road if you want a caravan. You staying, Em? No, I'm heading out too. We're going to help James move the image processor to a safe place on the river somewhere. For right now, though, we've got some friends to bury. The neighbors. Nikki has a poem and I have a song. If anyone wants to say anything, though, I'll go first. The neighbors were kind, gentle, beautiful horses. I used to go on walks with the silver one, out in the woods by... Why didn't anyone want to give them names? The silver one. Well, I guess he was gray, but his coat looked silver in the light, so I always called him that in my head. And the other one is the other one. And I love these horses, but you'd never know it if you heard me talk about them like that. So I'm sorry, Silver One and Other One. Sorry I don't have better names for you. You deserve better names. And also sorry I'm so bad at this. Anyone else have anything to say? I've got something to say. I just want to say these horses used to crap on my floors, but it never bothered me too much. I never mentioned it to anyone. I didn't want to make a thing out of it. But if we're clearing a hair, well, that happened, and it's okay. I mean, recently, too. I was cleaning up horse crap just a couple days ago, but I'm saying it was okay. I wouldn't have been okay if any of you wanted to crap on my floors. I just want to say that. I would have cleaned up after any of you crapped on my floor. Thanks, Ron. What? That's so weird. I was thinking about when all those canned carrots showed up in the mail. You remember that? Someone was calling around with some canned carrots they wanted to get rid of, and I guess Consolidated Power got word of it. So these cans of carrots showed up in the mail, and we didn't know where they came from at first. I tried them out. No flavor to them. Some of them were gray. Just awful. Rita said that's still okay to eat. Like, sometimes carrots just lose their color if they sit in a can too long, but nobody wanted them, really. Well, Aunt Connie came on TV with a message like, hope the horses are enjoying their treat, and we thought, okay, these are for the neighbors? Sure, horses love carrots, right? But the neighbors wouldn't touch them. Wouldn't even look at them. You'd think they were canned rocks. We opened a couple dozen and set them all out by the water trough, and they were still there a day later. Even the raccoons steered clear. And then, of course, Consolidated sent us some invoice of every can we'd opened. Already made out in company script. How do you like that? Okay, I guess we'd better move on. Nikki, you ready? Well, the weather turned out okay, didn't it? Hope we can hold together to wherever we're going next. Maya, you and your other visitors might not know about the out-of-towner. He came here to work for the company to dig a ditch, and the company worked him hard and good and for less than he was worth, but it wasn't enough. They had to use him up completely. After that, we became ungovernable. First out of shame, then grief, then anger. This is a poem for the neighbors, but it's also for the town. Yeah, we're going to bury this town today when we bury these horses. It's the same thing. We're going to bury these horses, and what do you think will happen next? Well, I'll walk out in the woods and leave this place empty. No, I guess some of us might stay and build again. That's alright, it couldn't be me. but to try is your birthright. If you do stay, you'll be building on top of a grave, but that's true anywhere. The whole world is built on top of graves. Look for me under your boot soles, the fellow says. Nikki clears her throat and begins reading from the paper she's holding. For those who stayed and shamed penance pay, and hope to mercy find right where we sinned. Those hopes we are withered, no mercy left. Who could forgive us now we've buried our merciful friends? Our neighbors were the best of us, of course. It's always so. Our better selves, clear of ourselves, where we can see their glory glow. They glow now underground, our friends with love. I have no will now left to comfort you, but staring at the clouds my vision showed. Below the earth in damp and torchlit caves, return their souls in peace and gently roam. Then we buried the horses.
I've heard of a land of joy and peace and wonderful life, a beautiful place of mansions fair and skies so bright, where all who believe the Savior dear forever shall stay. And having been saved by grace divine, I'm going that way. I'm going that way. I'm going that way. Yes, dear, the Savior I adore is with me each day. I'm clinging to Him and never to stray, just singing praises all day long. I'm going that way. Well, glorious news I tell and sing as onward I go. For those who are still astray in sin, my Savior may know. I want them to sing that praise above some beautiful day. For glory to Him who died for me, I'm going that way. I know I shall meet Him at the gate when trials are past. I know I shall meet Him face to face in glory at last. Oh, I believe that when we meet, well done, He'll say, while trusting that soul redeeming love, I'm going that way. I'm going that way. I'm going that way. Yes, dear, the Savior I adore is with me each day. I'm clinging to Him and never to stray, just singing praises all day long. I'm going that way.
Okay, I can move again. Cool. There goes everybody, I guess. There's a tire. Okay. So what next, game? Oh, look, there's... Okay, I lost control, so this must be the ending or something. The end. Huh. Another thing? Death of the Hired Man? Okay, let's see what it is. Isn't this the play that the guy who's been trying to put the play on the whole game talked about? To Love a Red Moon. Oh. Mexico? That's what she said. Damn. Oh, she's been there before? Sounds so far away. She lived there for years. Why'd she come back? Ask her. Sometimes it's hard to get a straight answer. So I recall. Well, that's old girl's trouble anyway. I'll tell her you said so. Eh, she'd wear it with pride. You would, wouldn't she? How's business? Shitty. Haha. Sure, you laugh. Sorry, Harry. You laugh, but you'll go where you sit and talk all day when you shut this place down. Oh, I appreciate the stakes. It'd be a different story if someone bought a drink with cash now and then. Sure, Harry, we've all got our troubles, which reminds me. I'll pour 'em. No, it's not that. As I was leaving the bureau, I ran into someone else. Uh-oh. Your erstwhile janitor. I bet. What do you have to say? In fact, he suggested he might come by and clean your facilities. He what? I told him never to... Now, Harry, be kind. I told him... Here he is. Now? Be kind. I'm always kind. How does it look out there, Brandon? It's pretty okay. Sure. The sun is out. Imagine that. I mean, it's clear skies. Clear skies today. Well, I'll get started. Listen, kid. Just go on back, my young friend. We'll check in on you shortly. There's just a couple bathrooms. See that attitude. Go on back, Brandon. Okay. I'll start with the ladies. Fine. There's nobody... Nah, just kind of some of the kids. Oh, hey, y'all, what are you watching? Looks like a nature thing. Hunting, I think. I guess you're paying closer attention. Well... See, Harry, a little bit of the kindness and you got your janitor back. When was I ever anything but kind to him? I let him sleep in the office whenever he misses his bus, but he's not dependable. Off he goes, always when I need him most. He thinks you gotta earn a little pay. I can't afford to pay any fixed wages, thought I wish I could. So when someone else can pay, then someone else will have to. Not so loud, he'll hear you. I want him to, he'll have to eventually. Harry, I believe you were about to pour us a couple drinks. This damn bar is like a muddy black little pond where everyone who stops to drink falls in and drowns. Now, Harry, who would drink from a muddy black pond? There's always someone thirsty enough. And what are you in? And where are you in this colorful metaphor? Just another set of bones at the bottom. I'll drink to that. Yeah, so will I. Ha ha. These shows are rigged. They work it all out in advance. All a big con. It's entertainment. There's no reason to lie about it. I rather think it's the only reason. So how'd it go, your plaything? My plaything? You said you put on a play, right? I staged an experimental theater production, yes. Pardon me. If you must know, it was a disaster. Sorry to hear that. On the topic of my production, the less said, the better. Fine, change the subject. It was doomed from the start, really. I prepared a small seating area on the first floor of a subterranean self-storage facility. I won't ask. The acoustics, Harry. Pretty nice, huh? Tremendous. Lonely. Melancholy. Sounds like kind of a depressing place to put on a play. An uncommon venue, by design. It's unique, I'll give you that. Even if an audience had materialized, there were other gaps in the production. Okay. The cast and crew, also absent. Damn. So I alone stood there at sunrise with no play and no audience to miss it. And you, what's been occupying your days and nights, my friend? Not much. Sometimes I go down to the store and restock, but then it's straight back home. Home? You mean this place? I guess. Sounds pathetic, doesn't it? Not at all. No, you had it right at first. This bar is no home. It all depends on what you mean by home. Talking to Brandon the other day, I got the sense he sees this bar as a kind of home, too. Ha! He's like a dog that walked in off the street. And what do you do, Harry, when a dog walks in off the street? You give him some water. The dog never did anything wrong. Home is the place where you have to go there. They have to take you in. What's that from? The poem. I bet. It sounds like a greeting card. It's meant to sound a little cynical, I believe. What's the poem called? The Death of the Hired Man by Robert Frost. Of course. Only the poem which served as the basis of my doomed experimental stage production. Oh, I'm sure it's a great poem. The next line is, I should have called it something you somehow haven't to deserve. Mean anything to you? Well, is he a Christian man? Frost? Yes, I think he was, with a healthy measure of doubt. Then it sounds to me like the grace of God. You get it when you're baptized. It's automatic. You don't have to do anything to earn it. You just try to be worthy of it. What do you think? Harry, you know I only attend church for the acoustics. Then what's the line mean to you? Oh, I take it very literally. It's a moral claim. There is, for each of us, a place called home. The relationship is inalienable. It's our birthright. No one may keep it from us, this place. Says who, though? I mean, who enforces it? If God won't, then it's up to us. And I guess you think the same goes for that kid back there. Am I so transparent? So why is it up to us, though? Doesn't his grandma work in a bank or something? Does she? I'm pretty sure I heard that. But Harry, don't you think that if he could get help from family... Sure, maybe they had a fight. He looked exhausted. Yeah, he did. Why don't you go check on him? It's kind of quiet back there, huh? Not to scold him, Harry, just see how he's doing. Yeah, alright. I'll let you know who wins. Well, you've been glued to this program all day. What do you make of it? Sorry your play was a bust. Ah, live theater is always a risk. That's what makes it interesting. I agree. Sure, you're a performer. You understand. I was in a movie recently. I hadn't heard. Yeah, Western. Kind of a glitch Western. You have my complete attention. I was just thinking about your poem. Oh? Yeah, but I was thinking about it as a riddle. Like, what's the place where you have to go there and they have to take you in? And the answer is home? No, it's a grave. Our host returns, but so quickly. Well, did you and the young man have a heart-to-heart conversation? How is he? He's asleep on the floor with a roll of paper towel as a pillow. Try to remember, Harry. No, it's alright. Let him rest. That's it? I guess that's it. Okay. Well, that was Kentucky Route Zero. It was an experience. I don't know what kind of experience I would say, but it was an experience. Seemed a bit random. Seemed a bit, all over the place. No real rhyme or reason for a lot of the things that happened. I mean, there were some pretty moments for sure, but for the most part, it was just kind of things happened, and then it ended. So, yeah. Well, thanks for bearing with me through this experience, and as we are in the month of October, we're going to be trying to get into some spookier games coming up soon here. I'm going to be trying a game called Viviette that I picked up recently next Friday. So, usual time will be starting next Friday at 8:30. So, I will see you guys then.